Welcome back again to my channel. I go by the name Dr. Candles in the building, aka the humble trader. So this video is going to be simple, straightforward, but powerful. So I will be sharing with you how I do my top to down analysis, right from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. I know we have so many financial analysts in the forex market. Every individual forex trader has his or her own unique way of analyzing the market. I'm not here to condemn anybody's strategy or anybody's way of analyzing the market. At the end of the day, the goal is to what? To make money in the forex market. So this is my personal way of analyzing the market. You can take advantage of it if you really want to learn and be profitable. I hope you understand. So without wasting much time, let's go. Euro USD is my favorite pair, so I would like to use Euro USD for this example. So most of the times I prefer to start my top to down analysis from the weekly time frame. Sometimes, however, I go all the way to the monthly time frame just to see the overall picture of the market, not to really do anything on the monthly time frame. I just want to see what the big boys are doing. I hope you understand. So you see, when you view onto the monthly time frame, you could clearly see that market is moving up down, creating level of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So currently market is trending down. So this is so clear. Market is just trending down, creating level of lower low, lower high. Even on the monthly time frame, you could clearly see that market is just trending down. So I don't need to bother myself with so much information on the monthly time frame. I just want to see the direction of the market. I hope you understand. So I usually use the higher time frames to identify the direction of the market. Then I will zoom on to the lower time frame for my entry. Now let me move on to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, I still set for the same direction. You could clearly see that on the weekly time frame, market is creating the same pattern: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So that same downtrend pattern. So let's still view onto the weekly time frame and see if there is something that we can learn from the weekly charts. See, so when you go onto the weekly time frame, you could see different perspective here. I don't know if all of you know Quasimodo. I think I have treated Quasimodo as a topic. I treated Quasimodo as a topic. You can go and then check on Quasimodo. You see, when you check on this pair on the weekly time frame, you realize that it formed a Quasimodo pattern around this area. You see, this is the high, this is the low of the market, this is the higher high, the lower low, and then now the Quasimodo. Remember our Quasimodo lesson, right? So with the Quasimodo, what we usually do is that you take the level or the high to be your QML level. So if you are trading the Quasimodo, you realize that this will be your entry, this will now be your stop loss, and this will now be your take profit. I hope you understand. So even with Quasimodo alone, it's telling us that this market is supposed to trend down to hit this TP, because you know Quasimodo level, whenever market creates a level of lower low, it really has to come back to that level to hit your TP. That is one thing that we are sure of. So definitely we are sure market is supposed to trend down here just to hit our Quasimodo TP. Another thing we can also check here is that market created an imbalance here that is supposed to fill. Market created an imbalance here. So you see around here there is an imbalance. Market is supposed to fill around here before possibly going up. I hope you understand. So that is another indication that this market is supposed to fall. Now let's move on to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, now let me delete this. So on the daily time frame, you could clearly see that the overall picture of the market is still what? Down. Still down, creating that lower low, lower high, lower low. So market is still what? Trending down. But when you view onto the daily time frame, you could clearly see that market has left some imbalance around here. There is an imbalance around here. Market is supposed to fill before maybe possibly moving down, or there is also another imbalance here. Market is supposed to what? To fill. So we have two imbalances here and there. Now the beauty part of this D1 time frame is that you can clearly what? Draw a very nice supply zone here, and then what? A very powerful demand zone also what? Here. Now we are not going to just start placing trade. We are not going to start buying or selling. We are still at the higher time frame. Over here, when you place trade, you will be risking so much. So we usually zoom onto what? The lower time frame, so that we can get what? A very powerful entry. So over here, what we can anticipate on the lower time frame is that market could clearly zoom up to here, then maybe trend back to fill this order before finally what? Dropping to that Quasimodo level, or market will just start right from here, break this level, trap retail traders, for retail traders to think that this resistance level has been what? Broken. Then market will just tap onto the supply area, then finally what? Drop. So we have two possibilities here. Now to take advantage, we still what? Need to what? Go down to the lower time frame. That will help us what? Pick entry with a very small risk but high reward ratio. That is the beauty aspect of our strategy. So now when I move on to the what? 4-hour time frame, I could clearly see a very nice supply zone here. Very nice, powerful supply zone on the what? H4 time frame. You see, because I'm anticipating this market is supposed to drop down to fill this imbalance, I shouldn't just be looking at the market. I should search for a zone that can help me get an entry down to here. I hope you understand. Since we are on the H4 time frame, we can clearly just pick a trade here with our stop loss above and then take profits below. However, if you still want to what? Minimize your risk, you still go down. Let's say we go down to the 1-hour time frame. You see, on the 1-hour time frame, now another confluence you can see on the H1 is the Fibonacci retracement or the Fibonacci level. So usually I consider the 0.61 Fibonacci level or 0.50 Fibonacci level. So as you can see, this fall within the what? 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So just it's almost the same thing. So now you can refine your entry back to this area. So that is on the 1 minute time frame. You see, on the 1-hour time frame. Then sometimes I still go as low as 15 minutes time frame. You see, when you zoom on to the 15-minute time frame, you could now clearly see that momentum candlestick. Very huge move here. Let me observe it for you. So very huge move here, and you can also see that resistance area that market makers were trapping retail traders. You see, this is a very nice resistance area, very nice resistance area. So should market break through that resistance, a lot of retail traders will be thinking that this market will now continue to buy, only for market to tap onto a very nice supply zone and then drop. I hope you understand. So this is what? A complete setup when you zoom onto the what? 15-minute time frame. So over here you can what? Minimize your entry down by using what? The pin bar as your what? Basing candle. So over here you can just enter a trade around here. So here will now be your entry, your stop loss will be below, and your take profit. So now your take profit, we can now move on to the the end of the demand zone. You see, we can now move on to the, so let me now move on to the H4, or let me go to the H1. You see, so you see, when you move on to the H1 time frame, you realize that this is a complete setup. So when you move on to the H1, you see this is a complete setup. So let me see, we are holding about 1:19, 1 to almost 20 risk to reward ratio. You are risking $1 for $20, my brother. You understand? So that is what an accurate analysis. But mind you, market won't just start falling for you like that. It will definitely play with your intelligence, be in negative profits. I hope you understand. Go high, low, like that before getting to your TP. I hope you understand. So sometimes what we do is that we still zoom onto the lower time frame and still pick an entry. So sometimes even on the 15-minute time frame, you can still scale onto the 5-minute time frame. Now on the 5-minute time frame, what I will be looking out for is, let's say, a break of structure. So on the 5-minute time frame, maybe I can be I will observe the market to do a pattern to create a different level of lower low, lower high, like this, then now test back into that same demand or supply zone. Then I'll pick another entry. So alongside, as market is still moving down, they will be creating new demand and supply areas. So once they create, I draw it and then still join the market. So sometimes you may miss this entry and then follow it with a different zone. So that is basically how I do my top to down analysis. I usually use the higher time frame for my direction, then the lower time frame for my entry. So this is, so let me just go back and then show you exactly how this market ended after I did this analysis. I have shared some of this analysis on my mentorship page. So this is the one I just explained. You see how market reacted when market came here, created different zone, dropped. See, came here, created this different zone. I shared this on the mentorship page as well. So currently Euro USD is still trading down. Remember, we still have Quasimodo level to be filled, so we are still anticipating this market should go down. So if you still want to join this trade, you can still go on to the H4. So you see, when I go on to the H4, there is a zone here. There's a powerful demand zone I can draw on the H4 time frame. You see, so when I go on to the H1, I can refine it. So now I'm expecting market to trend up, down, touch this level and continue. If market doesn't come back to that area, I still move on. So that is basically how I do my top to down analysis. Thank you so much. If you really learned something new, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. Peace out.